Right, hi guys, JJ Richards here, and today's video I'm going to be giving more of an educational style video rather than my usual video. So if you're new to the channel, I tend to stick to doing more vlogs, and I'm currently in the process of my next series, which is like the road to the classic physique, because at the moment I'm 10 weeks out from my next bodybuilding show. So I want to try and add a little bit more depth into my channel, so I'm going to try and get some more educational videos and some more knowledge videos out so you guys can learn along the way. So I'm going to try and do this video in one take, so hopefully I won't mess up too much and it'll all make sense. Personally, as a consumer of YouTube, I don't really like videos when you can see that they've edited it and it's very choppy. Personally, I don't really like that as a viewer. So as a maker of videos, I'm going to try and do it in one take, make it as raw as possible. So getting started in bodybuilding. So I'm going to go through the three main topics: training, nutrition, and supplements. So the difficulty is now social media is fantastic, however there's a slight negative effect that there is so much information out there. If you're getting started and you're just searching YouTube, you can be absolutely overwhelmed with all the information that is out there at the moment. So I'm going to try and give you some very basic tips to getting started, because a lot of people, there's a good old saying, don't run before you can walk. Most people can't even crawl and they're trying to sprint. So I'm going to just give you some basic informational tips on getting started. So number one, let's talk about training. So there is hundreds and hundreds of different ways to train these days. You've got FST7, progressive overload, you've got giant sets, supersets, and people just like putting names on different training methods. So don't go too complicated to start off with, just stick to the bare basics. So if you're just starting out training and you've only just recently joined the gym and you've just got the hunger to progress in the fitness world, I would recommend for you training 3 to 4 times a week. And all I would focus on doing is initially starting off using compound resistance machines. So what I mean by a compound resistance machine is, for example, if you're doing chest, I would focus on just doing some chest press exercises on different angles, maybe do a couple of isolation exercises, but don't get too drawn into doing too many isolation exercises, because this is the number one mistake that people do, especially for shoulders, because you can do lots of variations of a side raise, lots of variations of a front raise, when all you really need to be doing is a decent pressing exercise. So when it comes to your training split, if you're training 3 times a week, if you're an absolute beginner, just do a full body workout. Just pick one compound exercise for each muscle group and just hit that for 12 to 15 reps. If you're a little bit more advanced than that, and you've been a member of a gym for maybe 6 months, coming up to a year, then you can potentially look at doing a split. So a really simple split would be push, pull, legs. So by push, I mean chest, shoulders, triceps. For pull, is going to be back, traps and biceps, and legs is everything from the waist down. And I would, again, as you're progressing, so start off on resistance machines and then slowly introduce using dumbbell work, and again sticking to the compound exercises, so deadlifts, squats, chest press, things like that. The reason why I recommend starting with a resistance machine rather than using free weights is solely injury. One, your body's not used to pushing heavy loads, and also two is, as we're blokes, most of us, ego is the number one factor of injuries. Fact. So if there's a guy that's been training for 5-6 years and is pushing a decent amount on the bench press, you naturally want to follow, be more alpha, try and lift the same weight, and the chances are you're going to get injured. So start off with the basics, resistance machines, because if you go too heavy on a resistance machine, the only thing that you're going to do is not move it. Whereas if you've got a heavy barbell on you, then the chances are the barbell's going to go on your neck. If there's no one spotting you, you could die. That's a bit excessive, but you get the point, okay? So like I mentioned, this is just from the absolute start, so I'm not gonna progress too much into training, but that's a few training tips that I would recommend for starting out. Then coming on to nutrition, okay? Don't overcomplicate it. If you're just starting out, I wouldn't personally count macros. I still don't count macros. I wouldn't count macros. I wouldn't really look at counting calories. Just eat food, okay? So proteins, carbs, and fats, okay? Just look at eating anywhere. If you're eating 3 meals at the moment, maybe look to adding another meal in, and then once you're getting used to that, look at adding another meal in and just slightly increase it. If you've got a decent protein source in each meal, if you've got a decent carb source in each meal and a healthy fat source in each meal, you can't go too far wrong. I wouldn't necessarily worry too much in around carb timings and things like that and insulin spikes. If you're beginning, just go really basic, just try and increase the amount of food you're currently eating and then just progress from there. Once you get a little bit more advanced, and especially, you know, if you then become to one day aspire to competing, then you can get a little bit more in detail with the nutrition. But to start off with, don't count macros, okay? Don't count calories, just try and eat. If you're very slim and you're very slender, you could probably add in a little bit more junk food just to try and get the calories in. And also it's a cheaper way of getting calories in if you're on a budget, 'cause most people are starting pretty young. But if you're a little bit overweight, then maybe just manage it a little bit more. But maybe just by adding in some cardio or actually just exercising, you reduce your body fat anyway if you're not currently moving. But just be a little bit mindful of your junk food consumption if you're storing a little bit of body fat. And that's the basics in regards to nutrition, okay? If you want to know more detailed information on nutrition, I've done loads of videos before in regards to calculating your macros, and also I've got quite a lot of day in the life eating videos as well leading up to comp prep and off season. So if you do want more details, then just look back from my previous videos and you'll see some. And the third but least important thing is supplements, okay? Don't be a supplement junkie. As you're starting off, they are not very relevant. If you do want to buy a supplement, the only thing I would look to buy is a decent whey protein shake that you can consume after the gym, or depending on your lifestyle, you can use as an additional or a substitute to meals. I personally don't ever recommend using supplements as a replacement, because the phrase supplement is just a supplement to your diet. It's not a replacement, even though you can get meal replacements. I personally don't rate them. So just look at using a whey protein. Post-workout's always the best time. And then again, if you need to add it in between meals to get the extra calories in, or if you're a student and you've got a busy lifestyle, then they can come in handy. Do not go out and buy bloody pre-workout, intra-workout, like an all singing, all dancing multivitamin tablet, creatine powder, bloody nitrous oxide, BCAAs, fat burners, and all the other millions of products that are out there at the moment. Save those as you're progressing. If you try and do too much too soon, eventually you'll hit a plateau and there's nowhere to move. If you start off very basic and not doing too much, then as you're progressing, you're going to progress anyway, because you just started lifting weights and you started eating more food. That is going to result in muscle building. Once you hit a plateau, then you can start adding other supplementation into your daily nutrition. But it's very easy, because when you watch YouTube, like the majority of all the big YouTubers out there, they push supplements down your throat until you choke on them, and they're throwing pre-workouts and everything into all their daily rituals. But you don't need it if you're just starting out, okay? Take my word on that. If you're feeling tired, just have a coffee. It's cheaper. If you're gonna spend 30 quid in the pre-workout, spend 30 quid in Tesco's buying yourself some decent food, because I guarantee that's what's gonna make you grow. Food makes you grow. Good training makes you grow. Supplements are just this sort of cherry on top as you're progressing, okay? So that is just a few basic tips and guides to starting out in bodybuilding. I hope you found it helpful. Again, I'll do more videos as you're progressing, and as the channel's progressing, I'll add a little bit more detail into it. But if you've got any questions, just drop them in the comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up, and I did what I wanted to do. I managed to do it in one take. Hopefully when I watch it back, it sort of makes sense, but there's gonna be no chopping and changing. One take, boom, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, peace.